Welcome to another episode of Limitless Trading. We want to keep you updated on what we see in the market, our forecast, where we're going, where we've been, and set you up for success. Now, we had said to you that the 55.31, 55.78, which was the 14th low that we caught, our targets were, they've rolled a little bit because futures have rolled, but basically it's now 56.84, 57.71, ultimately up to 58.55. We had said that if any of these started rejecting, then you can short it. In fact, Tuesday was a low. We rejected, and we took a put into the 56.84. And then Friday was also a day to take puts. It was OPEC, so contracts rolled, but it turned out to be a low. Then we bear trapped under on Friday at 56.54 and put and defended 56.84. Then we popped over 57.71 and we made our way almost to 58.55. Today was a rejection day, was a down day. The market had to cool off because we've been uptrending, almost 300 points since the bottom call. But what next? Now is trend over? Does trend continue? One of the things that we're following here is this trend from the Thursday low is still defending. So if you take your trend line and you take it up here, we haven't quite retested this trend line. If we test it tomorrow, it'll be somewhere around 56.27, which is actually the gap fill that we had mentioned on a previous video. They don't have, actually, futures will gap fill, but it doesn't mean it has to gap fill tomorrow. What we're hoping is we get a little gap down tomorrow, Thursday, into Friday, and we suspect Friday will be our bull trap, and then we'll start squeezing into at least Monday morning. So we expect Friday for 57.71 to defend, be a bear trap. We're going to roll up into Monday, whether it's all the way up to 58.55 or not, but we suspect that we're going to be bullish Friday into Monday, and then Monday into Tuesday start rolling over. But we have a wedge here. So if you look at this trend line here, with this resistance from last summer, we're still working. It's almost like a rising wedge that we're working after a 10% drawdown. Now everybody sees a bear flag, but frankly, the market goes up more than it goes down. So this could easily be a rejection here. Put in another bottom at 57.78 by the 14th, which is tax day, right? So, or actually the 15th is tax day, that Tuesday, and then turn into a double bottom and off to the races. So no one knows if this is going to play out or not. It could turn into a double bottom and continue up, seeing that we're still oversold on the daily. What we tell you is trend is your friend. It's still up until 57. If 57.20 becomes a rejection, or what I'd like to see is, let's say on Tuesday, if 57.71 rejects on Tuesday, then start rolling, because Monday and Tuesday is our top into at least CPI, which is on the 10th. So let's just say, assuming on the 10th, CPI is a Thursday, we could be down here at 56.89 or 55.78. CPI right now is bullish, but it's trending up, so it could turn out to be bearish. We let the chart decide. If we're up here and we reject it, sell the news. If we're down here and we're bullish, that's how we take it. The news is just noise. Now, on the smaller time frame, again, we didn't quite fill the gap at 57.20, which is right down here. Surprisingly, we would have thought we would have just filled it, but market makers are trying to defend the gap up trend line rather than gap down. Now, GDP is coming up, PCE is coming up as well. So any of those could be catalysts to drop the market. So again, if you want to hold out and let's see if 57.20 defends. If not, you can keep taking longs as long as we're defending a level. So if we recover 57.55 on the smaller time frame, we're going to work right back up to the drop 58.35 all the way to our ultimate target at 58.55. But I also want to see this trend line touch again. So there's a trend line right here that we had talked about on a previous video. This trend line doesn't touch again. I mean, it would have touched on Friday, but it didn't. It touches again on actually May 19th, which could be another low. I like waiting for my trend lines to hit. So if the trend line defended, it goes up, I keep you buying on the new trend line. If we break down a trend line and then turn it into resistance, that's when you want to take your short. You want to, a lot of people shorted on Friday, right? Because the trend line book turned out to be a bear trap. A lot of people are bearish today because we had a red day. Okay, we took puts as well, but we also ran our stops into 55.71 because if we gap fill and then we just continue our trend up, this could all be a bear trap. So don't assume that we break down that we're bearish. The resistance here was a put. If 57.71 starts becoming resistance on Tuesday, we're all shorting in our Discord and bringing it back home to 56.84, all the way down to a retest of 50.78, and possibly even lower, coming down to the 5300 area by before Memorial Weekend. We suspect again that we're going to roll up into tax day, or possibly on Tuesday roll over. And then our next bullish turnaround day is going to be on the 12th. So our next low is the 12th, which actually would be the tax day, and then continue on. Being that March has been so bearish, there's a very good likelihood that April will be bullish. Does that mean it's bullish every day? No. Again, we're up 300 points. The market's going to give some of this back, start testing some trend lines, either breaking down and then start shorting, or bear trapping and going up. But let the levels speak for themselves. Again, we broke down 57.71. That gap fills, it could just defend, and then we continue our trend into Monday and Tuesday, or turn 57.71 into resistance, and then we start our leg down into either a retest of 57.78, or what I would like to see is this 5300 area by the end of May or before Memorial Weekend, and then test this possible low here, and then start another leg up, but one level at a time. Don't assume we're going to go down. Don't assume we're going to go up. Let the levels tell you. If a rejection becomes resistance, that's your short. If it becomes support, keep taking long, because we are on an uptrend. We're not on a downtrend. We had one bear day. That's not a downtrend. Not unless we get a confirmation that now support is becoming resistance. Please like, subscribe, and if you want to join our Discord, email us or comment Discord below, and we'd love to have you. Good luck.